Mathematics and the universe are the same thing. The whole universe can be mathematically expressed. I mean, it's not about 42. It's not about numbers. It's about the laws which can be represented by this numerical code. 7 is the symbol of God and the quality of divinity in man, and 6 is the symbol of man, his basic principle. And wise men communicate through numbers. They don't have much to explain. They can look at each other and say 5 or 7. And everyone understands what that truly means. Here's an interesting question regarding the magic of numbers. A lot of people talk about how our entire space is made of numbers. What can you tell us about that? The thing is, our entire space can be expressed in numbers. It's not woven from numbers, it's expressed in numbers. It's slightly different. Indeed, it is the right thing to do, but let's go back to the original. The primordial power of vibration, which is the divine vibration, is that what we have? Sound and light are all vibrations. In the vibrations, we see this beauty. This beauty manifests itself as vibration, and accordingly, vibration, what do we have? It's waves. Waves are some vibrations that are already expressed as waves, as geometrically expressed processes. If there is a wave, there is height, there is width, there is length, and so on. We can take it as a form. And this form we can express as a number. So mathematics and the universe are the same thing. The whole universe can be mathematically expressed. When we say there are waves, vibrations, we can certainly call it Law 5, Law 7, Law 11, Law 12, and so on. There is space. There are different levels of consciousness expressed as these laws. There are different spheres within the space that can be expressed as some numerical ratios. How do these numbers affect a person? Do people often notice, for example, that they look up at their watch when they show 12:12 or 23:23? This is close enough to normal human social existence. What I just spoken about are very global processes, but in life they also manifest themselves very close to our normal lives. In my case, I take it as resonance. A resonance that indicates to a person that he must change something in himself, maybe transform, maybe manifest. That is, if you see 14:14, 15:15, 11:11, 12:12, or 21 or 12, and so on, in general, it shows that the person is on the path, and that changes are taking place with him. And these changes are connected to his higher centers, to his consciousness. A lot of people say it's the help of angels. If you'd like to see it this way, not scientific, but more religious, then by all means. Yes, indeed, there are those who could be called angels. It is our consciousness, again, expressed in different ways, one way or another. We can perceive this as a flow of knowledge, or something that tells us that we need to change or manifest ourselves. It all is. What is the sacred significance of the figure 42? There are 42 energizing exercises in Kriya practice. Hermes Trismegistus left 42 books on the afterlife. The soul is met by 42 judges according to ancient Egypt. In the revelation of John the Theologian, the reign of the Antichrist will last 42 months on earth, and so on. In Douglas Adams' book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the most powerful computer calculated that 42 is the digit of the universe, and so on. First of all, you have to look at what that figure is. 42. What is 42? It's 4 and 2. What is a 4 in numerology? And what is 2 in numerology? How do they interact? How do they coexist? Why are these two numbers next to each other, and why are the laws of religion, universe, and various others, the works of these famous people, or even of super entities connected with this rhythm? This all relates to the number 4 and the number 2. Look at the root of what it is called. As Kozma Prutkov used to say, look at the root. Take the number 4. What does it represent? In numerology, it's a long time to explain now, but overall, it's sustainability, it's stability. It is a number that actually indicates that there is a certain harmony, and that harmony is expressed in interaction with the externally expressed space, with life. It's the sustainable aspect in humans. The number 2 is also an element of the 4, like half of it, and it indicates whether it is goodness or harmonious existence. Either indicates that there is the possibility of moving from one state to another, more elevated, higher. When they work together, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 is the symbol of man in a certain sphere. But speaking of 42 as I see it, one can still consider it this way. 6 times 7 equals 42. We are now approaching this aspect of the religious divine, or esoteric cult. In this 6 times 7 equals 42, there is just a 6 and a 7. 7 is the symbol of God and the quality of divinity in man, and 6 is the symbol of man, his basic principle. Together, the divine and the human form 42. Therefore, the rhythm which has emerged in the form of some events on which these people, whom you have listed, and let's say the same Hermes Trismegistus, rely, they express precisely the laws that can be correlated with this numerical code 42. I mean, it's not about 42. It's not about numbers. It's about the laws which can be represented by this numerical code. That's what this is about. People have an interest in aspect 42 itself, in the numbers themselves, and in reality there should be an interest in the knowledge behind it. It's a numeric code which, by the way, wasn't only given by these people. Pushkin devoted a lot of time to this. He has a lot to say about it, as I recall. The same Gogol talked about it. He has a work, a fragment, where two people communicate, pointing to the number 42. A lot of things. This is because this matrix principle that we live in now is organized according to certain laws. And these laws can be expressed in the number 42. Through this numerically encoded something, we can enter and learn these laws. As I said at the beginning, the most important thing we see in a number is something called a wave of vibrations, behind which is spiritual power. This wave of vibration is because we can see it. When we see it, we see the form. There's a wave, that's a form. This shape can be calculated. What the wave is, what is behind that wave, what the information is, all of this can be expressed in numerical terms. Therefore, there is the law of 5, the law of 7, 11, and so on. This digital mandala indicates the presence of certain processes in the universe. And wise men communicate through numbers. They don't have much to explain. They can look at each other and say 5 or 7. And everyone understands what that truly means.